holding tight, can you see it? Streaming the truth live from where they decree it. Sylvia speaks, no filter, no buffer. Courtroom drama couldn't get any tougher.
When the gavel's first bang, to the witness stands tears. Sylvia's lens captures all your hopes and fears. Uploading justice one trial at a time. Tune in every moment, edges sublime.
Welcome to the Sylvia show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Faces turn stories, the courtroom can't hide. Sylvia's insights cut through the divide. From jury talks to the lawyer's secret. In Sylvia's world, you know you'll need it. Behind the scenes where whispers are loud, her lens reveals the truth in the crowd. Courtroom secrets laid bare to see. Stay curious with Sylvia Spree. Every objection, every sharp retort, Sylvia's there to give you the report. Exclusive footage no one else can snag. From catchy headlines straight to the tag. Welcome to the Sylvia show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show.
Faces tell.
Hey guys, I gotta take one of these. My throat is itching so bad. Y'all see, I'm back bald. I'm back bald. Y'all know I couldn't take that hair stuff too long. Y'all know me already. Y'all know me already. Now I just gotta put my color back in. Y'all know me. I do not like hair. Back bald. Yep, back bald. Hi. Hey, Lady L. Hey, pretty chick. Hey, Nosy Rosie. Hey, Miss Torres. Hey, Pamela. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Naughty Land. Hey, Pamela. I'm back. Y'all, thank you, Lady L. I'm telling you, I could that hair stuff. I couldn't do it, y'all. I can't do it. I can't. You did a shortcut? Oh, thank you. See, this is me. This is my. Hey, Emmanuel. How are you, Emmanuel? Okay, y'all. I know some of you guys are wondering, why is she back here? Why is she not? Why is she? First, I want to see y'all to see my haircut, of course, because I got to show off my haircut because I'm so proud of my haircut, right? And the other part is I want to get you guys prepared for this week and what we have going on, right? And we got a couple of things going on this week. We have the trial that Mrs. Steele is on, that I've been following, that I've been boots on the ground on. And then we have the hearing for, give me the name again, Miss Richard. Where's Miss Richard? Hey, 444 Smile, what's going on? Yeah, I had to show myself back to my normal self, y'all. Yeah, Naughty Lynn, this is me. This is my hair. This is my hairstyle. I listen, I tried the hair stuff. I tried, y'all. I tried, but that's just not me. It's just, there's some things you know is you and some things you know is not you, and hair is not me. I mean, it is what it is. It's just not me. I look more fresh and refreshed with with short hair. I just look like me. Right, Mrs. Small, smile. Like, see, it's me. This is me. This is just me. Okay. Thank you, Smiles. It's just me. I feel free. I feel just. That's how you met me. Yes, this is me. This is the real Sylvia. Okay, I can't try to be somebody that I'm not. I'm not a person with the hair stuff. I can't do that. Okay, I am at my best now. I'm me. I'm just so comfortable where I am right now. And you see how happy I am. Thank you, Smiles. I'm just a happy person with short hair. I just love it. I love it. And that's why I love summer, because then I don't have to worry about my head being cold and stuff like that. So I'm back. All right. Let's get started. I know you guys have a lot of questions in regard to this case that I'm doing. Okay. As I told you, this case is a very, very sensitive case. It's a case that's very, it's one of those type of cases nobody wins. Nobody wins. Nobody wins at all. And Aaron, you said Aaron, that's her. Who's Aaron? Somebody in here named Aaron? Somebody in here named Aaron? Yeah, but I'm going to color all my purple in here now, but it's not purple yet. I'm going to color my purple. You guys can ask me anything in regard to this case. Where's my girl that was in here yesterday? Where's she at? Where's Cheryl? Cheryl, are you in here today right now? Where's Cheryl at? YouTube's been doing some funny stuff with me. I talked to them today and they're saying there's nothing wrong with my channel, and they gave me some tips to try to have folks getting the notification. So you guys may have to subscribe and unsubscribe, that type of stuff, to see if you guys are getting notification, because the notification, well, I got this one. So if you guys didn't get this one, yeah, I got this one. This one came at 5:03. So if you guys are not getting notification, let me know, because this one did come through. Did you guys get this one? Got the other one this morning too. Yeah, I got it this morning. So I don't know why some people didn't get it. I got this morning and I got just now. But I was on the phone with them today. Well, I was on chat with them, not phone, but chat, trying to find out what's going on. And they Mia was trying to help me out, and she gave me some tips. Let's see. They asked me to check my, okay. All right, let me just go ahead on and see what you guys. I got you on TV and phone. Thank you, Mr. 44 Smile. We have 18 people in this chat. 18. And probably the time I'm coming on too. It's not peak time. I'm just coming on when I can. So, and then I'm not regular like I used to be when I was doing YSL. But and then they got me in this special pilot program that they got me doing. And I had to sign an NDA, so I can't tell you guys what it's about. So, but if it's messing up my stuff, I don't want to be part of their pilot program. You got the notification, but I wasn't getting them before. Because I talked to them today. I really talked to them. And then they explained to me that if you do more than 3, your subscribers are not going to be able to get the notification. If you do like more than 3 lives in one day, they're probably not going to get the 4th and 5th one. They're going to have to be looking at your channel and get it then. But you should be getting it on a regular basis now. Okay, Lady L says she has a question. Okay, Lady L, shoot. Let me have your questions. Okay, let me have your question. What's the question? All right, we're going to wait for the question that Lady L has. All right, let's see. Who's on the witness list again? Oh, okay. Let me get the witness list for you. Thank you for asking. Let me go ahead and get it for you. The witness list they have about they have 30, well, defense has 30. Hold on a second. Defense has 37 witnesses that they should be calling. They might not call all the witnesses, but let me give you the witnesses' name list on the defense side. All right, we have. Hold on, it's pulling up. Just bear with me a second. It's pulling up on here. In the meantime, let's do a little chit chat for a second. Come on now. All right, here we go. Here go the list. Come on. Okay, we have the witness list for. There's Carol Ayers. There's a Tammy Babb. There's a Jordan Bessu. There's an Andy Byers. There's a Gail Cook. There's there's a Dr. Mary Huffman, and she's out of Georgia, Dr. Mary Huffman. Then there's Greg Hunter. Oh, then you have Captain Long of Hall County Sheriff Department. Okay. Then you have Wes Massey, Greg McCoy, Steve Mulder. Oh, you have Thomas Anthony Nichols. That is Shelby's father. Okay. You have Deborah S. Plott. You have James Dumas. You have Judge Farmer. What? You have Sybil Fogelman. Go Fogham. You have Dr. Clark Hill. You have Scott Porter. You have Chad Presley. You have Terry Riles. Chase Ritchie. You have Scott Saylor. You have Carol Schimel. You have Julia Smith. Lamar Weinbank. And you have Dr. Siebel. We talked about Dr. Siebel already. And all witnesses that the state has named. So all the state's witnesses, they can call them as well. So that was the first list. And then they went and did a redactment. adjustment to their list, and they got a bigger list now. They added 2 more people on their list, and those 2 individuals are, hold on, let me give you the 2 individuals. And Arthur Wheaton and Marie Whitworth. Marie Whitworth. Collie Wade, Kenneth Wade, Melanie White, Bryson White, Joe Stitchcombe, Charles Turk. So those are the individuals they put on here. Terry Riles, I did say that right. Randall Pugh, Chad Presley, Teresa Lovejoy, Greg McCoy, Steve Mulder. Let's see. Deborah Plott. Yeah, I got 37 people on here. It says, please file the original stamp filed on the copies and return same to our office in self-enclosed envelope. This is what Mr. Steele's legal assistant. Oh, I know Courtney. Hey, Courtney. That's Mr. Steele's legal assistant. I know who Courtney is, y'all. I know who Courtney is. Oh, really? Her father? Yes, her father is on the defense witness list. Yes, her father is on the defense witness list. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where's Cheryl? Where's Cheryl, y'all? Cheryl's in here today. Cheryl was here this morning. Is she back? Cheryl, are you here? Hey, Tall Glass. Hey, Rosie. Is Cheryl here? Hey, Miss Torres. Cheryl, if you're in the bushes, can you type something, please? I want to, oh, y'all wanted to know what the jury makeup is? The jury makeup is 10 women and 5 male. 10 women and 5 male. Though that is the witness. I mean, that is the jury makeup. And the age, I would say, range from, most of them are in their 20s, I would say. 20s, 30s. You might find somebody that might be like probably 160 person, 260. It's more in their the early 20s to early 40s. That's what the majority of them are. Yeah. Mostly women. I don't know their educational background. I wasn't there for jury selection, so I don't know. Any other questions? Do you guys have questions? Come on, yeah. This is the time for you guys to ask me questions. Ask me anything regarding this case. Ask me anything regarding this case. I know you guys are kind of like timid, but I need you guys to participate in asking the question. Don't try to ask it later on now. I know it would be more interesting if you guys were able to see it, but when you're dealing with cases like this case is pretty sad and disturbing to me. I wonder if Shelby is suffering from some type of trauma. Lady L, that is one of the things that I'm gonna reel back in a little bit. One of the things that I did find out during the testimony of when defense has Shelby on the stand, it is my understanding that she was not living with her parents at the time. At some point, there was some sort of charges where I believe her mother might have went to prison for money embezzlement from her employment, because the prosecutor had, objected to Mr. Steele going through that line of questioning, and it kind of frustrates Shelby at one point. She said, "What does this have to do with it?" And the judge did sustain it, and Shelby kind of got agitated with Mr. Steele. And I did see some facial expression on the juror's face. They seemed like they were annoyed with Mr. Steele asking her those type of questions. But I believe there was some sort of trauma that went on in Shelby's life. And I don't know if it has been resolved. And if it has not, that's probably why she is so adamant about her children. And sometimes a parent's fear will be taken in by the children because, if the parent has not dealt with their unresolved trauma. And because one of the things I did hear, they said that she was obsessed with child M. She was very, very obsessed with it. She always talked about it, and she was teaching her children at a real young age of the good touch, bad touch type of thing. And so there is a lot of, I think there's a lot of something going on within the family. And I don't know why her and Mr. McDuffie's relationship was very turmoil from the beginning. And then you have Mr. McDuffie. From my appearance, he seems as a type of person, he has little words, meaning he don't talk much. He doesn't talk much. He seems very like, he's one of those seem like, this is my opinion. In my opinion, he seems as if he doesn't have any kind of business dealing with you, he don't have any conversation. You get what I mean? There's no just nonchalant conversation with him. It doesn't seem like that type of person. And he seemed like his circle is very small. Yeah, he's a man with little words. He don't talk much with people, And I guess it comes from his work. He's the president of a bank, right? So he probably has that standoffish appearance because of the type of job he does. And he's kind of standoffish. Sometimes you can't be too friendly as a bank president because people will think that they can just come to you any kind of way, which is not that way at all, because he has layers of employees, layers of structure, how people can approach him, you know what I mean? Unless there's somebody that's very close to him and things like that. But I did hear from his family member that there were individuals that since he was in jail that he was able to minister to. I heard that he's a Bible teacher at church. He still have the opportunity to attend church. Okay. Kim said, "Hey, Kim, I've been looking for you. Where you been?" Kim said, so far, do you think it he says what he said. Okay. Sorry. So far, do you think it's he says and what the kid says any concrete evidence? Okay. As far as the evidence and my understanding of the evidence, there is no concrete evidence of any kind of sexual sexual, I forgot not to say that word, abuse. Okay. The reason I'm saying this because based on the report that the forensic nurse gave, she talks about the blunt trauma, right? But she also said the hymen was still there, right? And usually if certain type of things action, because when she was doing the examination, she said she did not want to put that equipment in the child certain way. She had to be very, very careful because she didn't want to I guess injure or cause any pain to her through it with her hymen. But then she also went and gave her opinion, which was not documented in the report, because the doctor, the prosecution asked her for her opinion, and that's when Colette objected, because Colette basically says that her findings, right, represented what was found observed in the test, but the judge allowed her to give her opinion anyway, which Colette objected to it. She did object to it. So what would be the motive for Shelby to make up this assault? Kim, their relationship was terrible. Remember when I was telling you that it was said during testimony that she was jealous of her husband's relationship with his family, because remember, she doesn't have a good relationship with her family. She was she's in the faith of Jehovah's Witness, right? And when she married Chris, she married to a Christian side. So that part will cause some friction with her family as well, because, in that faith, this is from a person that I know that is a Jehovah's Witness. They don't, it's like unequally yoked type of thing. It's unequally yoked. So therefore they don't intertwine with the outside type of people. Y'all know what I mean, right? The person that I know, he was of the faith of Jehovah's Witness, and he got excommunicated because he had certain type of relationship and he could not have it. So they basically just kicked him out of it. This is a person that I know. He wrote a book on the being a witness, and he got excommunicated because they don't allow. I don't know what the facts are. I don't know, because I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, so I don't know. I'm just going by somebody else that was in it, and he told me that they don't allow certain things. And then Kim, it is also said that she accused her father of the same thing. Oh, let me tell you, this is another thing. Remember I told you that what Chris asked that when they, not only was his father should go to the police and get questioned, but Shelby's father should be questioned as well. The grandfather, Shelby's, so he never got questioned. He never got questioned about this at all. He never got questioned. Only Samuel got questioned. So what would be the motive for Shelby to make up this assault? But you got to also remember, because Kim, remember I was telling you that her and her husband had made an agreement that they will not allow the kids to be alone with the father, right? But meanwhile, they come there and they allow the children to go be alone with the grandfather. So if you have already set rules for yourself, wait, Shelby's father or the grandfather? Okay, okay. Here's the thing. Remember, Papa is the kid's grandfather. Samuel's the kid's grandfather, right? But Shelby's father would be the kid's grandfather. You get what I'm saying? Shelby's father is the kid's grandfather. I don't know if her grandfather is alive, because I know he raised her, but I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know. I don't know if Shelby's grandfather is alive. It is alleged that she accused her dad. You get what I'm saying? It is alleged. I don't know if she accused her grandfather, but it is alleged that she accused her father. Because, but also she did live with the grandfather, her grandfather, which would be the kid's great grandfather. So I don't know. That's a good question. Thank you for that question. You said you really think she was touched as a child? Possibility, because she's very, 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 and if some people that have been in that type of situation are usually over cautious, very they don't trust nobody with their kids, nobody, and you can't blame them because something happened to them when they were younger. I'm happy you took this case. It reminds me of what you went through. Oh, you know what, Lady L? I agree with you. And that's probably why some people think that I'm more of on the so-called predator side, because I know how it feels to be accused of something that never happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't mean to be like more leaning to one side than the other, but based on my personal experience, I know how people will lie. You know what I'm saying? I know that there are folks out there that will lie. And the sad thing is, the person that is lied on has to clear themselves, and even after clearing themselves, they still won't change. Especially he was not it went past just being accused. He's charged, he's indicted, and now he's on trial for this. You get what I'm saying? It went all the way to that point where he was on the news about this. It went way over. And so when you go that far, it definitely needs to be some concrete evidence, like DNA. You get what I'm saying? And you got to have some concrete evidence. And not someone who's on the thing. Y'all, if you guys heard the call, I wish there was a possible way for us to get those to get that recording once the trial is over with. You can hear her coaching the children, the one child. You can hear her coaching her, and that's not a joke. You heard her, because even when the child was not saying, she asked, where did the water come from? Because the little girl said sprayed water. She said, where did the water come from? Did it come out of Papa's ding ding? And the little girl said, no, came out the sink. And then she says, the sink? She says, yeah, it came out the sink. He says, okay, what did it taste like? She said, blueberries. She says, what did it look like? She says, it looked like blueberries. She was saying stuff like that. And then when she spoke with because we watched the interview where she's speaking to the forensics interviewer, the interviewer asked her, did anybody touch your tootie? And she says, no. She says, did anybody ask you to say that someone touched your tootie? She says, no. She says, did you tell your mommy that somebody touched your tootie? She says, no. And then she would be like, she's like, I'm hungry. Can I get a snack? You get what I'm saying? She said, can I get a snack? And then the lady went to get her snack and things like that. She was, and then when there was one part she asked, who touched your tootie? She said, my daddy, my mommy. So it's like, okay. And then when the forensics came back and it showed, she says that the redness could come from the poor hygienes and stuff like that. It could have been some fecal matter inside her vajayjay because she's not wiping herself correctly and things like that. And then I'll try to explain to you guys the day when it supposedly happened, right? The dad went down there to the barn, and when he got there, he saw his daughter standing on the trailer, and he saw the other one standing on the trailer, and she saw the father. He saw the father on the other side, and there was a broken piece of the trailer in the middle, and he grabbed his daughter to get her down because he didn't want her to fall through the the broken piece of the trailer. So he grabbed them and put them down on the thing, and he saw they had like Gatorade all over them, and because it was all sticky and stuff. And then she said she had to go pee, right? And so her father took her and grabbed her, pull her up because he held her up to pee, and she did not cry saying it hurt. She didn't cry, she didn't say none of that stuff. That while her father was allowing her to pee, and he shook her to wipe, for her to wipe up and pull her underwear back up, so she didn't get wiped, right? She had wet pee underwear, and it went because when you dripping like that, you're gonna have some pee on your underwear, right? So the underwear went back up on her, wet, and so they went home. She's in the car with her daughter, and then she complained about her tootie hurt, right? So, and she basically she asked, your tootie hurt. Then she asked, did Papa touch your tootie? That type of stuff. So it came from the moms and I believe that the reason why her tootie was hurting because the girl had wet pee. I mean, wet underwear's on. You get what I'm saying? You got y'all understand what I'm saying? Because he didn't have tissue to wipe her. He shook her. He said he shook her. Shake so the pee could drop, But then when he pulled the underwear up, you're gonna have pee on the underwear. You're gonna have pee in it. And then one of the reason the forensics nurse said they didn't do the baby because they knew she had a wet diaper on. So if they did a test on the baby, they would have seen the redness and all that because she had a wet diaper. Y'all understand what I'm saying by that? And oh yeah, you said the pony ride. Yeah, of course. And then blunt trauma could be like she could have been riding on the pony and just boom, 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 And then she don't go to, okay, you're saying your child saying that down there is red, it hurts, right? But then you don't go, you have this feeling somebody touched your child. Why not go to the emergency? Why not seek a doctor the day it happened, right? Because you go home, it's about what? Around what time? 7 o'clock, 6. Go to the emergency, go to urgent care and find out why your child saying that it hurt. It's probably hurting because you got pee on her. And if you got wet underwear, your it's gonna cause some irritation. It's gonna be red, right? And she has had urinary tract infection in the past. And then the nurse says it. She says it. The forensic nurse says it. There's about that, because the kids don't wipe themselves good, or it might be moisture. It will cause some sort of redness and stuff like that. She said it. But then I guess they forgot that the daddy shook her. She pulled the underwear up. Pee-pee was in the underwear. She's sitting there around with wet pee-pee underwear for hours while she's riding home. I don't think they thought about that. I don't think they thought about the pony ride of her having blunt trauma. And her hymen was still intact. She didn't complain to her dad that her tootie was hurting. She didn't complain about the tootie bothering her until after she went home. She was riding home and she had that wet pee-pee underwear on. You get what I'm saying? That will irritate you. You have a no tissue wiping self, and I don't know. So, okay, enough of that. Could we move on to another question? Could we move on? And then she waited 5 days, y'all. 5 days before, and Shelby did not. She waited 5 days. They said her private part was normal. No evidence of any type of trauma. This is what they said. And then she said any type of trauma, no evidence of touching. And they took photos of her vagina. They did see the redness, right? And when Shelby is not in the room, she says no. Emerson says no. No one touched her tootie. She didn't tell her husband until that Monday. She didn't tell her husband until Monday, y'all. Monday? The man that still lives in the same house, sleep in the same room with you, you wait till Monday to tell him that what your allegations are, what you think, your accusations of his dad. You don't say nothing until Monday, and you go to his work. You waited. You didn't even do it when he woke up on Sunday morning. You didn't do it on Monday morning when he woke up. You waited to go to work. You tell your mother on Sunday, and you don't tell anybody. That's the part that really gets me. I was reading here where Chris says Chris and Lindsay, right? Those are his two children, right? Um, and remember, Chris was upset with his father because when he told him about this, he talked about about them dividing their assets, right? He wanted his father to have to show some sort of emotion. But if he knows his father was one of those type of people, allegedly, that he is like not going to show you any kind of emotion. Chris cried. Chris was on the stand. He cried. But let me tell you something. I saw the father's emotion on that in that witness chair. Sometimes some things will bring you to your knees. And I heard allegedly that he has softened up a little bit. He has become a little emotional. He has become a little emotional. He was probably raised up in the way because, I wanted to read one of the comments that somebody put into my chat, and I wanted to address that particular comment about that the father was definitely a control freak. He, one thing you might see one thing in public, and behind closed doors, he's basically controlling everything. He made everybody do what he tells them to do. You know what I mean? So I don't know who that person that put that message in my thing, but it was just basically telling me I don't know the facts of the type of person he is. And you're right, I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me go get that. See if I can pull up the person's message. I'm gonna put some music on for y'all. Hold on. Let me put on my going to look for stuff music. Hold on. Not that one. Sorry, this one.
Sylvia in that courtroom grind. All day long she's making time. Notes in hand, she's got the plan. Comes home late, shines like a star. Yeah, she's here to break it down. Justice found without a frown. In our chat with hearts so true, Sylvia's magic comes right through. Feel it, baby, feel the light. Soulful notes on the inside. Sylvia's truth makes us sway. All night long we groove and play. She's the queen with a golden touch. In her words we trust so much. Courtroom battles fade away. She brings the light in the day. Slide it slyly, can't deny. Sylvia knows just how to fly. All I want, she melts away, bringing soul to every day. Feel it, baby, feel the glide. Soulful notes on the inside. Sylvia's truth makes us sway. All night long we groove and play. Feel it, baby, feel the glide. Soulful notes on the inside. Sylvia's truth makes us sway. All night long we groove and play.
am. Okay, hold on. Let me just pull it up here. Let's see. The hold on. I think it was in day 2. Hold on. I think it was day 2 they sent me this message. Okay, this is what this person says. Parakeet says, not giving opinions about the specifics here, but if you really know the people involved here, the term to describe the person on trial is not old school. It is controlling in a very strong way and unforgiving if you don't fall in line. Please do keep in mind, this is the South, and people put on one face to the public and another behind closed doors. If you know, you know. That's all I'm saying. Did you hear that, y'all? Did you hear what was said to me? I'm going to read that one again. Parakeet says, not giving opinions about the specifics here, but if you really know the people involved here, the term describe the person on trial is not old school. Because I said the person was old school. They used to, like a man's man be certain kind of way. And they said that's not the way you need to be describing it. You need to call it out like it is. It is controlling in a very strong way and unforgiving if you don't fall in line. So the person is saying that allegedly Mr. McDuffie is a type of person that he's a controller. He's not old school. He's controlling, and he's very strong, adamant about his position on certain things, right? And they also said that he's unforgiving if you don't fall in line. That kind of like remind me of when Chris came to him to tell him about what was said to him, right? And how he reacted and how he just basically says, about dividing it. And then he told him that, the way he handles things, he says, hold on, let me tell you what he says to his son. He said, hold on. Hold on. This is what he said to his son. He said, every time you have a problem, you study the problem and find a solution to the problem. Your babies are going to be fine. Then he says, I wouldn't do anything stupid like that. He says he wouldn't do that. Then Chris turns around and he hugs his father. He cries and he hugs his father, right? His father didn't hug him back. No emotion. He's pissed, right? And then Chris says he had no clue that Shelby went to the sheriff's office because Chris wanted to keep this discreet. He didn't want his children's body part being shown all over the world. He didn't want to go through this. He wanted everything to be discreet. He did not want all of this. He said when he came into the room and he saw the cameras being there, he did not want his babies to go through this. And how he found out Shelby went to the sheriff's office is when he walked by the table and he saw the Bible was open, right? And then there was a card on there and there was a case number on the table in the Bible. And he said he called her and he hit the roof. He was pissed that she didn't tell him that she was going to go to the sheriff department, right? He learned about his children having to go to get a RAPESA kit. RAPE and then a SA/SA kit. Okay. And he was never at the sheriff's office. The Monday conversation he had was with her when she came to his office. And when he came home, that's when he saw his daughter skipping around skipping around the house, saying, "Let me go see what she said." He said that he saw her skipping around the house, and he hadn't even asked her the question. She was skipping around the house saying, "Papa touched my tootie. Papa touched my tootie, and I'm not lying. Papa touched my tootie, and I'm not lying." Skipping around the house saying that. Papa touched my tootie, and I'm not lying. Wouldn't that be strange that she says, "Papa touched my tootie, and I'm not lying"? Papa touched my tootie, I'm not lying. Why would she have to say, "I'm not lying"? Papa touched my tootie, and I'm not lying. But then when she was asked in the forensic room, when her mom was not around, she didn't say it. Then she asked for her bracelet with her mom. She gave her ice cream. She had the little cat at one point. She gave her not ice cream, a popsicle thing. Then another point she was holding her bracelet, and then she asked Emerson asked for her bracelet. Right? It was like all these little rewarding things that her mom was giving her when she was asking her those questions. I could give you guys some of the stuff that Emerson said in there. She talked about that there was a broom, there was a knife, and then she said she asked her what happened to the broom and knife. She said she got slapped with the broom and the knife. All right, let me go ahead on and read some of the stuff in my notes, okay? Let me read my notes so I can tell you exactly what was said and things like that, because the notes will give you everything. Hold on. Let's read the notes so I can stay on track on what was said. Okay. Okay. It says Ada and Emerson. They say Ada and Emerson will not testify. Chris McDuffie and Samuel McDuffie was very close. They had a very close business. They had partnership in different businesses, right? But all that changed when Shelby made the accusation against his father, right? Shelby is the mother of the two young babies, right? She's the second to testify. Shelby and the defendant did not get along. They had differences, but they were cordial to one another. Shelby did not have a relationship with Ariel's mom, which is Chris's sister, Lindsay. But after the situation, they became close. The families did not get along. Okay. So on May 20th, 2023, Chris and Shelby brought the girls to the defendant's house for a gathering. They went there to visit the pony. The pony name was Macho. Okay. At the house, Chris and Shelby agreed that they would not leave the kids along with the grandfather, Samuel. So Samuel was going down to get treats for the pony some feed, and the girls wanted to go down with them, so he took the girls. Shelby says she don't remember how they got down to the barn, but when she was talking about how they got back, she mentioned how they rode back. But when Mr. Steele was asking how she went down there, she couldn't remember. But Chris remembered they went down on a dually, right? I don't know what a dually looked like, but they went down on a dually, right? And it says the defendant took the two girls to the barn. He was not supposed to. That's what Shelby said, right? She says that she was not concerned. Chris was not concerned at all. It didn't bother him that his dad was taking the girls down there. So she says about 30 minutes later, she spoke to Chris and to ask Chris about going down there to go get the girls, which about 30 minutes. So Chris went down there and came back. According to Chris, Emerson and the dad was riding, rode up on the dually, and he rode behind him or something like that. He rode behind it on the in the back of the whatever that thing is. And so then when she's riding home, because her and Chris rode in different cars. So she's riding home with the two girls, right? And she goes and says that Emerson says to her that Papa poked her tootie down there in the barn. That's what Shelby said, right? No disclosure was made at the time, supposedly at the barn. Then she asked, Shelby claimed that Emerson asked, is it okay for Papa to see my tootie? The evening thing changed. That's when everything changed. So remember, when Chris was taking her to the bathroom and he was shaking her, she said, Papa can't see my tootie, right? Because I guess she was going to the bathroom and she didn't want nobody to see her. And she says, Papa can't see my tootie. And that's when Chris said, no, Papa can't see your tootie, right? So, so then that evening, so I'm wondering, I'm curious, maybe she was asking her mom about Papa seeing her tootie, because remember she asked her dad when he was taking her to the bathroom, and when he shook her, he didn't. She probably was asking about, basically, can he see me, type of thing. This is just me thinking outside the box, right? And it says that's when everything changed. Emmy is not acting right. This is what she said. Emmy is not acting right, right? She says, I have to tell you something. Papa touched my tootie. That's what Shelby says, right? And Shelby became alarmed. And she checked out her daughter's private part to see if anything went wrong. When she looked, she saw that it was red and it was swollen, right? And she didn't tell Chris that night because she was afraid. So she didn't tell him until Monday. She called her mother, and Shelby and her mother struggled to tell Chris what, and they didn't know what to do. Okay. They waited until Monday. Shelby goes to the police office and didn't tell Chris when she went to police, because remember, she saw Chris that Monday, and then she went to police that Wednesday, right? And then she told that when they were at the house on Saturday, Shelby tried to figure out what to do. She went to the sheriff's office, but didn't tell her husband. She tells the deputy what happened on that Wednesday. This is about 5 days later, and examined both girls was examined. The examiner observed both girls, and arrest warrant went out once the investigator told Chris. But remember, Chris said he never went to the sheriff's office, so I guess he must have called him on the phone. I guess, I don't know, they didn't specify anything like that. Then they went and got the grand jury indictment, and he was indicted. So 5 days later, Shelby is not in the room. Shelby is not in the room when they're doing an examination. Emerson answers no when asked if anyone touched her tootie. Certain people touch her tootie. Emerson is taken to another examination, and her private part, they said, was normal. No evidence of any type of trauma. That's what was said, right? And it says no evidence of touching. They take photographs but there's no evidence. Parents are going, they're saying, and Mr. Steele says the parents are going through hell. And then it says 90% of children across the country, 90% of every child across the county evidence that Alfred starts to cry. Oh, okay. So Alfred says 90% of the kids in this county have some sort of SA going on, something like that. That's when Alfred said, and then that's when Chris cries, right? Then the investigator Alfred tells them that both kids have been penetrated. Investigator Alfred tells them both kids have been penetrated. And Chris says he was going to kill his father. And then they give the history of the father. He's been married for over 40 years, and his life was ruined. All their lives were ruined. The children's lives were ruined. The husband and wife life is ruined. Sam and Janet life is ruined. The family's ripped apart. and they had never had any. He's never had any SA interest in any of the children. And he's being charged with a serious charge. He's the president of the local bank. And then they talk about how Chris gets married to Shelby. And Shelby has an obsession with her children being M. So she's obsessed with this. She's constantly talking about that topic, constantly doing things to try, because they said she was definitely all the time talking about that. She was teaching her young kids about good touch, bad touch at a very, very early age, before they even can understand anything. And it said that she claims that her 3-year, 9 months old daughter was touched by her grandfather. That's what Shelby said. Then she tells the little girl, you can tell me if anybody touch you. It's okay. You're brave. You're protecting Papa. Jehovah is proud of you. Did you hear that? She tells the little girl, Jehovah is proud of you. You're protecting Papa. Then she says, Mama loves you. Jehovah is proud of you. You get a prize. The recording, she made recordings, it said. Shelby made recordings, and then she deleted some messages because you don't hear all the messages, and Shelby only gives a small snippet of certain things that's being played on the recording. And she doesn't give the phone when asked by the defense side for the phone. She refused to provide the phone. There's no pictures, no doctor, no emergency visit on the day of this supposedly incident happened. All right. Just the word of Shelby. And then Monday, still no doctor visit, no forensics, no emergency room, no doctor, nothing on Sunday. Monday rolls around, no doctor, no forensic, no emergency room, no urgent care. But she does go visit her husband to tell her husband at work what her daughter supposedly says. That is on May 22nd, 2 days after the supposed incident. So Chris is upset. He screams. He says, you coached her. This is what it said. Chris says, you coached her. You know my father wouldn't do something like that. This is what he said. This is what Chris says. All right. Chris said this was Mr. Steele goes and says that the investigator Alfred made a total fabrication about the girls being penetrated. He used that to turn Chris and get Chris upset. And Chris doesn't see exactly what the report says. He's just going by the word of the investigator. Investigator Alfred is on a hunt to target Sam. Remember, Shelby's sister is married to one of the officers that made the arrest. So, Then he goes to Lindsay, which she has a mental health. So he goes to Lindsay. This investigator Alfred goes to Lindsay, which is Samuel's other child, his daughter, and brings that information to her. And then this causes the daughter of Lindsay to be interviewed by the forensics interviewer, which we watched a video on that, and it was a 58-minute video, and she basically said her papa didn't touch her and no one has touched her tootie and things like that. They ask her what certain body parts are called, and so on, so forth. So Shelby is talking to Ada and Emerson, and she's constantly talking to the kids about this alleged abuse. And the stories have changed several times in what was being said. Ariel doesn't say anything about anything happening, okay? Investigator Alfred is waiting for this trial. For 3 years, he's been waiting for this trial. And Alfred only spoken to 4 people, and he needs to get a lawyer. That's what he tells Samuel. He needs to get a lawyer. They never investigated, never tested, they never questioned Shelby's dad. Samuel says, because he doesn't think he did anything, so he goes and talks to the investigator. He goes in there without an attorney, guys. He goes there without an attorney. So he goes to sit there because he doesn't think he did anything wrong. And when he's in the room, he tells them, you got the wrong person. You need to find out who did this instead of weaponizing the child against him. And then, Mr. Steele says against what? This is Mr. Steele's word. And if you tell a child this happened, they will actually start to believe it happened. And Shelby is on the mission to protect her kids or nothing. And then the first witness was Katrina Wills. She was the supervisor of crime scene. She's a crime scene supervisor. Her position is civilian, and she did not take the oath, a sworn oath for her position. She's just a civilian. She documents, photograph, and provide evidence. She came to the home to collect evidence. They only went out to the barn area and the outside of the house. They never went inside the house to collect any kind of evidence. They did not go inside the refrigerator, check the refrigerator, didn't check anything other than taking a picture of the outside of the barn and also the outside the backyard area. They took plenty of pictures of the backyard area and stuff like that. They did not collect any DNA. They did not, because it's after that time frame or anything. She doesn't remember going inside the house. She didn't go inside the house, but she didn't remember whether or not she went in there. Then she says they only stayed outside on the porch, right? And he says Mr. McDuffie was not at home when he came there, but Miss McDuffie, Janet, was there when she came there. And then she asked if Miss McDuffie if you could take pictures. She was able to take pictures, but she did not take any pictures of the refrigerator and did not take any accounts of any kind of other information that would be vital to the investigation. Okay. So then Shelby came on the stand, and they said Shelby's a very, very much attractive young lady. She's been married to Chris McDuffie for 10 years. In the beginning of their marriage, they had a very rocky relationship. There was always some sort of arguing and things like that, some sort of stuff going on. She did not like the father. She was close to Miss McDuffie, Janet. She was very close to her. And in fact, Miss McDuffie was the one that used to babysit the children, all three of them. And then they asked her what names did they call the kids, the nickname. She called Emerson Emmy. She called her Emmy, Emerson and Emmy. Then they asked what did Emerson call her sister. She says she called her Bird or Sissy or Birdie. And that was Addie's name, right? And she didn't. What I put down is some of the observation that I saw while she was testifying. She never looked over at the defendant's table. I noticed that she stayed focused and she kept her eyes where her family was sitting. She kept her eyes on her family. They showed pictures of the girls. They showed a lot of pictures of the girls on the day that this event supposedly happened. And at the time, the girls were ages 1 and age 3. And Emerson was around, not Emerson, Ariel was around age, I think almost 4, if not 4. Then it says here that that Shelby is a hairstylist in Jefferson, Georgia. She, of course, I told you that they didn't get along, right? Her relationship with the defendant was cordial, but not close. But his relationship with his son was very, very close. They would do a lot of things together. They'd go fishing. They'd go take trips together. They'd go hunting. They did a lot of things together. They were constantly talking to one another, and they had several businesses together. So that relationship was, he would talk to his father first before he would talk to his wife. He would talk to his father first before he would talk to his wife. He was very, very close to his father, right? She said she never talked to the defendant about the situation because they had asked, did he, address it with the defendant about, what Emerson told. She says no, she never talked to him. And I told you again, she was very close to Mimi. The last time they all talked was in 2023. It was May 20th, 2023 was the last time she had any kind of a conversation with any of them. It says Janet babysat the girls and they had no relationship with Lindsay, which is the daughter. Lindsay didn't get along with her brother. After the crime happened, they became close. Her and Lindsay became close. Shelby and Lindsay became close. And any tension between Chris and his wife, concerning the care, there was so much tension between them, between Chris and Shelby. They had to go to marriage counseling. And some of the things that she had concerned was the grandfather being able to be around the kids. And they came up with the solution of that he was not to be left alone, unsupervised with the girls at all. Because she had a concern. She's always had a concern, even before anything was even said about it. She's always had this obsession with her children being aimed. And there was warning signs and Chris' attention, and there was warning signs, and she would convey those warning signs to Chris. But Chris, said that his father would never do something because that's not the type of man that he is. But she was very obsessed with her kids being aimed by somebody. He didn't feel the same way. Chris did not feel the same way. But he went along with what the the therapist says during their counseling situation, because she was going to counseling, and I believe the reason why she was going to counseling, she probably has some trauma that she's dealing with, but they didn't talk about that. They didn't talk about why they were in marriage counseling. Okay. The day that this supposed incident happened on May 20th, 2023, they went, you know what? Guess what? This happened on my father's birthday. And you remember that girl, Sarah Gray situation happened on my birthday. Look at this. Wow. Okay. May 20th, they went to the defendant's house. We talked about that, right? They drove in separate cars. They went there to see the pony macho. They went straight down the hill to the house. The defendant and wife was there sitting on the outside. He took Emmy and Addie. This is what she said. Shelby said he took the girls for a walk. But Chris said he drove the girls down to the barn. Which one is it? Did he take the girls for a walk or did he drive the girls for a walk? There is a difference in the two stories. If you're both standing outside, which way, how did he get down there? Did he walk or did he ride? Big discrepancy, ain't it? Chris said they drove the dually and she didn't remember if they drove or walked. But when she first started testifying, she said, because I wrote it down in my paperwork, she said they walked. She said the defendant was outside. He took Emmy and Addie for a walk. That's what she said on the thing. But when Mrs. Steele asked her, how did they get down there? She said she don't remember. She said, I don't remember how they went down there. Janet went into the house and I heard something banging and then I heard she stopped and she got worried. Because remember the little girl said they were working, right? They were banging. They were working, right? And then so she stopped. She got worried after she stopped hearing the banging. And it was about 10 minutes. And she made a joke. Can we get my kids? And they parked. They parked and Gatorade was all over Emmy's face. That's what she said. She says, and she was upset with that because she don't do dye. She don't give kids any kind of dye. And the grandfather gave her a prize because she was upset because he gave the kids some Gatorade and they had the red dye and she didn't like that. And then she was saying how Ada she couldn't control Ada. She kept crying. She was crying and crying and crying. But Chris never said Ada was crying and crying and crying. He said the kids wasn't crying. So I don't know. And she said Ada said inside her can't touch her mommy. Oh, she said Addie said Ada's inside hurt, and then supposedly Emerson told her mom, "Don't touch her inside hurt." And then she says, Emerson said, "Can't tell mommy." Then she checked her teeth. She checked her to see if she's teething, Addie. And she was going to get some Tylenol. The defendant came to the house and where they farmed and where they had animals. Then they said Emmy looked outside the window. Emmy said he was here. She started crying, saying that she didn't want Papa to see her. She held her urine, and when she went to wipe, She said bad touch. Listen, and then that's why Mr. Steele went to her and said that, because remember, she just went to the bathroom with her husband, right? They're at the house. Now she's saying that she didn't want to go to the bathroom, but she had to go to the bathroom and said it hurt. It's a lot of like story changed up. And she said, don't touch, bad touch. Then she said, Papa poked my tootie. And she said, taught Emmy body part, body boundary, and she bought the book for her. She was in shock now. She said that she was out of character. It was like out of character for her to say that. Emmy didn't take her clothes off. She said she pulled it to the side. She was standing on the trailer and she was not a good protector. She's saying that Emmy said she was not a good protector of her little sister. A 3-year-old saying that she was not a protector of her little sister. A 1-year-old. Then she said she told Emmy to run. Emmy told Ada to run. She can't remember if Chris was home or not. She couldn't remember if Chris was home or not. Oh my God. She just, Okay, I'm gonna have to go, y'all. Somebody just sent me a message. Hold on a second. Okay. That would be very sad to make up a story and cause so much pain. Thank you for covering this. Mr. Steele must know something that hadn't been presented yet. But when she was giving her testimony, she was saying stuff and her story would change. Her story would change with some stuff. Just like she said she didn't remember how they went down there. You get what I'm saying? She said she didn't remember how, first she said they walked down there, right? And then when Mrs. Steele asked, how did they get down there? She says she don't remember. She didn't remember. All right, I'm gonna You're welcome, Lady L. Any other question, guys? I was reading my thing and I'm okay. The dually is a Dodge flatbed. That's a dually, y'all. A Dodge flatbed. That's what Chris said it was. She said she had the TT and went to his father's house that Monday night, and Need to split up everything. We saw a snake freak them all out. So they saw a snake. And that's why the little girl had yelled, because they saw a snake out there and they freaked them all out. He said, Chris said everything his father said made sense. Because even when he went down there, he saw them. He wasn't acting up or anything like that. Okay. All right, guys. I'm about to go, y'all. You guys have a great night. And I'll see you guys in the morning. I'll see you guys in the morning, okay? Okay, good people? All right, guys. Good night. See you guys in the morning. I'll be up. You guys make sure. Y'all see my hair, short hair. They're going to be shocked when they see me coming up in the courtroom. Oh, she don't have her hair anymore. You're welcome, Miss Torres. See you later. Thank you, C Sheets. I'm back to myself. C Sheets, I'm back to myself. I'm back to myself, my short hair self. I'll try the hair growing thing again when the winter time is about to come. I'll start it again. I'll try to do that hair thing growing. But I'm going to get a couple of haircuts during the summers. The spring and summer. You too. I'm going to keep my hair like this until like around, I'll start letting it grow around June. So my hair won't be cold in the winter time. So I'll let some hair grow. But this is me. This is what I like. All right. See y'all later. Bye. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another. Don't forget to sow to help us get this stuff out, be able to be in the courtroom, pay for this high freaking gas, and all that wonderful stuff. Don't forget on Thursday, Serena told me the right day. Thursday I have my Rule 22 for thank you, Naughty Lynn. I'll have my Rule 22 for orange juice. What's his name again? Where's Miss Richard, so she can tell me what the man right name is. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Gotta do some door dashing right now. Bye.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me, we laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night.
and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mars in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click